Vivian Brooks stepped through the revolving doors of Pinnacle Nexus Technologies on a crisp Monday morning after returning from a highly successful 4-day business conference in Boston, carrying fresh partnership agreements, expanded research funding, and the satisfaction of knowing her engineering division had once again exceeded every performance target expected by senior leadership. Instead of the lively conversations, glowing computer screens, and familiar energy that usually greeted her, she found the executive floor strangely silent. And as she slowly walked toward her team's workspace, she realized every desk, monitor, award, and personal belonging had vanished, leaving behind nothing but empty carpet, dust outlines, and an unsettling feeling that someone had deliberately erased years of dedication in a single weekend. Confused, Vivian stopped a maintenance supervisor pushing a cart through the hallway and quietly asked where her department had gone, only to receive an uncomfortable expression before he reluctantly explained that senior management had ordered her entire engineering division moved into an unused warehouse building behind the headquarters to create a luxurious innovation suite for a newly hired executive consultant. Fighting the anger rising inside her, Vivian thanked him politely and crossed the parking lot toward the neglected warehouse, where rusted loading doors, cracked windows, and faded warning signs painted a depressing picture long before she even stepped inside. The sight waiting for her inside was heartbreaking because Naomi Reed and the rest of her carefully assembled team were trying to continue their work. Beneath buzzing fluorescent lights while unstable folding tables supported expensive computers, tangled extension cords stretched across stained concrete floors, and leaking pipes forced employees to place buckets beside delicate electronic equipment to prevent water damage. Naomi looked up with tired eyes and quietly explained that a confident newcomer named Damian Cross had arrived with movers the previous Friday, announced that the executive floor belonged to his transformation project, and ordered everyone to clear their offices within 30 minutes because he claimed true innovation required prestigious surroundings that ordinary engineers could never appreciate. Although disappointment spread across every face in the warehouse, Vivian refused to let frustration control her judgment, calmly walking through the room to encourage each employee before asking everyone to carefully organize every technical document, update every project record, archive every important achievement, and quietly prepare professional portfolios without discussing their plans outside the team. Her younger engineers looked confused by such unusual instructions because they expected complaints, arguments, or legal threats against management. But Vivian simply smiled with remarkable confidence and reminded them that patience combined with preparation often accomplished far more than emotional reactions ever could. For almost 10 years, Vivian had transformed overlooked professionals into one of the most respected engineering teams in the industry by recognizing hidden talent where others saw flaws, recruiting brilliant specialists rejected for being unconventional, and building a workplace culture where loyalty, creativity, and trust mattered more than impressive titles or political influence. Long before entering the corporate technology world, she had coordinated emergency infrastructure projects across disaster zones on several continents, experiences that taught her how to remain calm during chaos, build powerful international relationships, and quietly prepare alternative paths long before unexpected crises forced difficult decisions. A lesson that would soon change far more than anyone inside Pinnacle Nexus Technologies could possibly imagine. Over the following 3 weeks, Damian Cross became the center of attention throughout Pinnacle Nexus Technologies, filling conference rooms with polished presentations, fashionable business terminology, and ambitious promises about transforming the company's future. While Vivian Brooks and her neglected engineers quietly continued delivering mission-critical systems from the warehouse without missing a single deadline despite the poor working conditions. Unknown to Damian and the executives applauding his speeches, Vivian had already begun reconnecting with respected business leaders, former colleagues, and trusted investors months earlier, because experience had taught her that wise leaders always prepare opportunities before they become necessities. Everything changed when the company's chief executive officer unexpectedly invited Vivian to present her team's achievements during the annual executive strategy meeting, giving the warehouse team renewed hope that their years of consistent performance would finally receive the recognition they deserved after weeks of humiliation and silence. That optimism disappeared only minutes before the meeting when Damian intercepted Vivian outside the boardroom, smugly informing her that the executives preferred hearing his revolutionary vision instead of reviewing completed accomplishments, leaving her no choice but to return to the warehouse where disappointed faces searched her expression for answers she refused to deliver with bitterness. Later that afternoon, whispers spread throughout the headquarters after Damian's highly anticipated presentation collapsed under difficult technical questions from board members who quickly realized that his impressive vocabulary could not hide his lack of practical engineering knowledge or real operational experience within the industry. While senior managers struggled to explain the embarrassing meeting, Vivian quietly instructed her team to continue documenting every completed project, every measurable success, and every process they had personally built over the years because she believed facts, supported by evidence, would eventually speak louder than exaggerated promises. Only 2 days later, Vivian welcomed an old professional acquaintance named Olivia Bennett, now a respected executive at another rapidly growing technology company, for a private tour of the headquarters under the pretense of discussing future industry collaboration and exchanging ideas about innovation. During the visit, Damien confidently interrupted their conversation to boast about his remarkable achievements and claimed that his management strategies had dramatically improved performance at several previous organizations. But Olivia calmly revealed that she had served on the advisory committee of one of those companies and personally knew his exaggerated claims were completely unsupported by documented business records. The hallway fell silent as Olivia formally offered Vivian and her entire engineering division an opportunity to establish the foundation of a brand new research and development center with significantly better salaries, complete creative independence, modern facilities, and leadership roles built around proven performance rather than executive politics, leaving Damien visibly shaken for the first time since his arrival. Vivian accepted the proposal in principle without raising her voice or celebrating publicly, explaining that true professionals never seek revenge through anger because the most meaningful victory comes from creating a future where talented people are respected, trusted, and never forced to prove their worth to those who failed to recognize it in the first place. The following morning, Vivian Brooks and her team entered the Executive Conference Center, carrying neatly organized reports instead of anger, determined to let years of measurable results speak louder than emotional accusations. While senior leaders who had rarely interacted with the engineering division suddenly realized they were looking at the people responsible for many of the company's greatest achievements. Rather than criticizing anyone personally, Vivian presented a detailed roadmap showing how consistent investment in skilled employees had generated lasting success, explaining that organizations flourish when experienced professionals are empowered instead of being overshadowed by short-lived corporate trends. As the discussion continued, several board members began asking difficult questions about recent management decisions, and the answers revealed that expensive initiatives introduced by Damien Cross had consumed significant resources without producing meaningful improvements. While Vivian's warehouse team had quietly protected important client relationships and prevented costly technical failures from affecting customers. The room gradually shifted from skepticism to admiration, as executives realized the company's strongest competitive advantage had never been flashy presentations, but the dedicated people whose work had remained largely invisible behind every successful project. After several hours of careful deliberation, the board announced a complete restructuring of the technology division, promoting leaders with proven records of integrity and creating a new innovation council where engineers, designers, analysts, and executives would collaborate equally on future decisions, instead of relying on a single influential voice. Vivian accepted the opportunity to guide the new council only after securing written commitments guaranteeing modern workspaces, professional development, transparent promotions, and respectful treatment for every employee regardless of title or department. Within a few months, Pinnacle Nexus Technologies became known throughout the industry for its collaborative culture, attracting exceptional talent from around the world because employees trusted that dedication, creativity, and teamwork would always receive greater recognition than office politics or empty promises. Vivian often smiled whenever she passed the bright innovation center where her team now worked together, because the warehouse that once symbolized humiliation had become a reminder that genuine leadership is measured not by the office someone occupies, but by the lives they improve through fairness, courage, and unwavering respect. Looking back, Vivian understood that the greatest victory had never been proving anyone wrong, but creating an organization where future employees would never experience the same disrespect that had once tested her team. And every challenge they overcame became another chapter in a story of resilience, trust, and leadership that inspired professionals far beyond the walls of their own company. Please subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends and family. We create entertaining and inspiring stories for our viewers, and your support helps us continue making great content for you.